So I was just checking out the Terraria forums earlier today, and I saw this post from last year which asked everybody, what is your favorite difficulty? Which I thought was a pretty interesting question. Of course, I've never actually thought about this question before. I've never asked myself what my favorite difficulty setting in Terraria is, but I thought it was actually a pretty decent question, and I wanted to answer it. So of the 4 major difficulty game modes in Terraria, Expert Mode, Classic Mode, Journey Mode, and Master Mode, here is my ranking from worst to best. In my opinion, the worst Terraria difficulty game mode by far is Master Mode. Not because it's hard, but because it's kinda just useless. I like when a difficulty setting in a game can give me a good difficult challenge while also providing new content to make up for it, and Master Mode simply doesn't do that. Master Mode is essentially just Expert Mode with a few stat changes. Yeah, you do get trophies and a couple mounts and a few other things, but there's nothing really substantial which makes it stand out from Expert Mode or even Journey Mode. In my opinion, it's a very lazy difficulty setting, kinda reminds me of difficulty settings in most video games, just very uninspired. At third place, I have Classic Mode Terraria, the real authentic way for a beginner to play the game. And it's great, we all know what Classic Mode is, it's good old Terraria. I put it above Master Mode because I don't think it feels quite as lazy or unoriginal as Master Mode does, and we didn't really get hyped up for Classic Mode, it was sorta already in the game from the start, whereas Master Mode was hyped up for a couple months and then ended up being nothing useful. I would also argue that Classic Mode has better balancing than Master Mode. Master Mode's way too hard without a lot of content, and Classic Mode is way too easy, but I'm gonna take way too easy and still fun over super difficult without anything to make up for it. There's not much to say about Classic Mode, it's just good old Terraria. Second place, I have Journey Mode, which I think is actually a fantastic game mode. I get why some people don't like it, and it's not for everybody, because it really is just Terraria creative mode, but with a twist. What I love so much about Journey Mode is that it just has such a crazy variety of mechanics. You can turn off the spread of the corruption, you can give yourself a bunch of items through duplication, you can increase your building range, you can enable and disable enemy spawns. This is not just a basic sandbox game mode where they give you every single item in the game and they just tell you have fun, do whatever you want. No, there's still progression, you still have to make your way through the world, it's just in a much easier and freeing way. Journey Mode isn't something I come back to all the time. It's one of those things where maybe once every year or two I'll do a Journey Mode playthrough and then I'm like, okay, that was cool, I'm done with that for now. Really, Journey Mode is just infinite freedom. You can choose how difficult it is or how easy it is. Although I will say, if you're going for Journey Mode, I'm sure you're going for an easygoing experience, not some crazy challenge, which is totally fair, that's what the mode is for. If I remember correctly, Journey Mode and Master Mode were added around the same time, which is pretty embarrassing for Master Mode, because Journey Mode adds a bunch of new content and mechanics and really spices up the way you play the game, whereas Master Mode, it doesn't do any of that. Generally, I think I would still play Classic Mode more than Journey Mode just because it's, you know, classic Terraria, but I still don't think that Journey Mode can go any lower simply because it's so unique. But everybody knows the true game mode that me and most Terraria players play the most, Expert Mode. This is the best difficulty setting in Terraria by far, and there's not really an argument against that fact. It adds a bunch of new items, and it also adds a bunch of new mechanics while making the game more difficult and balanced. Master Mode's a little bit too difficult, Classic Mode's a little bit too easy, and Expert Mode is a good place in the middle, which also adds a bunch of new stuff. Expert Mode simply adds more content, makes the game a little bit more balanced, and provides more replayability than any other game mode in Terraria by far. Obviously, you can disagree and say what you think in the comments, but I'm right, so I win.